Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments for August 24th. Let's jump right into our charts and take a technical look at today's action. First up, we got our October live cattle on the board. We did see a big red day across this cattle market today. Both live and feeder prices moving lower as we saw these markets giving back most of Friday's upside. This October live contract did open up here today right around 219 and immediately saw that selling pressure off that gap higher. Opening range breakdown pushing this market right down into the closing price of 213.62. Steady downside all day long, finishing the day down there in the bottom end of Friday's range. With that close down here below 215, that gives the bears a chance to take this market lower. Need to continue to get some offers down below Friday's low at 212.67. Once we do see some offers below there, that should open up that selling pressure some more. We could see some increased volatility as this market will start heading back down here towards $2. The sellers remain in control. This big picture downtrend still remains intact. We should see this market keep on bleeding lower. Bulls need to continue to fight back here, get back above 218 before they can start counting on any sort of a relief rally. In the meantime, the bears are in control, and we should see this market continue to head lower. Next up, our October feeders on the board. New front month contract here is this October contract, so this will be the focus going forward. We did see this market giving back Friday's gains here as well. This market opening up right above our bull pivot there from Friday's high with the gap open, but like that live cattle market, steady selling pressure right off that opening range into the close, finishing the day just right on top of that 318 mark. We did finish down here below that last week's or our pivot point here for the week at 319. With that being said, we should see this the sellers continue to push down here into the bottom end of Friday's range. Low of the day coming in at 315.40 on Friday, being last week's low. Any sort of offers below this mark should keep that selling pressure increasing. We should see the sellers continue to attack down here towards that $3 mark here in this feeder market. The bears are in control here. This downtrend remains intact, and we are seeing our lowest closing price here that we have had in over a year. We should see these prices keep on bleeding lower. At the moment, the sellers still remain in control, and we should see more downside to come. Bulls have a chance for a little bit of a relief rally here, but they got a lot of work to do. Need to get a close back up here above 324.5 before we can start looking at that. But even then, this downtrend still remains intact, and we expect to see some resistance overhead. Look for the downside to continue here for these live and feeder markets. Next up, December corn futures on the board. Last night we had a nice strong gap open in this December corn contract. This market opening up here and seeing a nice strong push up here into some new contract highs, just knocking on the door 5.25. This market did give back most of that upside into the close today, but the bulls are still in control here as long as we are trading above 509. Look for the bulls to keep on pushing up here. We are starting to see volatility pick up and got some heavy volume and increased ranges here. Widening ranges here. So at the moment, looking like we're going to see a little bit of volatility to the upside, and we should see this corn market keep on pushing higher as long as we can hang on to this 509 level. Next up, crude prices seeing a little bit of downside today, nothing major, but we did see a nice breakdown of Friday's low at 85.80. Seeing this market push down towards a low of the day coming in at 84.36. We are taking back some of that downside already here in the evening session, but with this market trading down here below Friday's low, we should see this thing kind of settle back down towards $80. Not expecting a whole lot of this crude market at the moment until we can get a close back above 87.5. This market still remains in bearish territory. Look for some nice choppy action and some tight daily ranges here, as we're not seeing a whole lot of volatility here at the moment for this crude market. We should see this thing continue to bleed back down here towards the $75, $80 mark, unless we can get a close back above 87.5, and that'll give the bulls the green light. In the meantime, not a good market to be wasting your time with. We should just see some more low volatility and choppy action here while this market tries to find its footing. Next up, equity markets seeing some mixed action here today. We did see the Nasdaq continuing lower here as the semiconductors struggled today. The Dow seeing continued upside, getting a close above Friday's high and just hanging out here right on top of that 20-day average. The S&P being stuck in the middle of the two, just hanging out here inside of Friday's range, just continuing to consolidate here at that 20-day average. We do see some of these big pieces of the puzzle still finding some good support, offering some traction here and getting a little bit of upside here across Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. These guys are looking good here at the moment. But like I said, that semiconductor sector here, which includes NVIDIA and Broadcom, those guys are going to be weighing heavy on this market as there's some pretty big pieces of the puzzle. NVIDIA especially being the biggest component of our S&P and NASDAQ index. Weighing heavy on things, we do have NVIDIA earnings also coming up in the week ahead, or in the next couple days here. So look for the market to react to that. We'll have to wait and see what kind of response we get the morning after the earnings. But at the moment here, This market continues, these indexes continue to find some decent support here around these averages. The Nasdaq losing a little bit of ground here today, slipping, but that's just because that semiconductor sector is weighing heavy. If they can continue to if we can get some more support in some of those big semiconductor names, we should see the Nasdaq get a bid here as well and try and get this uptrend back on track. This market still remains in positive bullish territory. Still should see some good upside come from this. Keep looking for deals and discounts out there. Not a bad time to keep some money at work, but we are starting to see this NASDAQ weighing a little bit heavy here at the moment, so we want to see this thing try and find its footing and get a little bit of traction to the upside before we really push all our chips in. In the meantime, this uptrend still remains intact here in the S&P and the Dow. The NASDAQ still trying to get back up there to 30,000, but we should see some support here in the next couple of days as long as NVIDIA has a good response to those earnings, and we should get this upside back on track. That's all we got for tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.